but it's about Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands. What else do you want from me? It tells you right there in the title what it's about. Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, I will be telling you all the books that I would really love to read in 2021. This is by no means all the books that I'll be reading in 2021 because, one, I'm a mood reader and my choices change with my mood. It's cursed, it really is. And two, the first half of the year will be kind of like a slower pace for me because I'll be finishing up my internship. I have a big exam I have to study for to become licensed to be a therapist, so the first half of the year is going to be kind of a slow read than the second half of the year. We hope. She hopes. We're hoping. But these books are books that have been out for years. For me, at least. I mean, for you too, because that's how time works. It's not relative. It's just how it is. But none of these are new releases, so if you have them, you can read them with me. You don't have to read them with me. It's fine. You don't need to. You're here to see what books I'm going to read. But if you're new and you like bookish type videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. All my social medias are linked down below. Also, I am Katie. If I didn't say it, I have a weird thing of not saying my name in videos. But also, all the books that I talk about will be written in the description for you guys, so you can look them up if you haven't already read them. But without further ado, I'm pretty sure it's like I have 13 books here. So these are like my creme de la creme of books that I would like to get to. I think there's only like 1 or 2 I don't own yet. So without further ado, let's get into the books that I would love to read in 2021. Yeah, she can't see, so she had to put her glasses back on. It's a thing. These books are in no particular order because I don't have a particular time I'm going to read them. They're not in any way, shape, or form how I'm going to read them, but they're just the ones that I would like to read. And these aren't even like new releases, like I said, so I have a long TBR. Like, my books that I have yet to read on my physical shelves are more than the books that I've actually read. So it's a thing, you know, we're pushing through. It's new year, we're just gonna go. But these are the ones I really hope to get to. So the first one on my list is none other than The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I started reading this past year. I really did. I got, like I said, like a chapter in, I think, and I don't know what happened. I was just like, nah, and I went to another book. But this has been out for a few years. You probably know what it's about. It's about a night circus. I think there's a competition between the girl and the guy. I don't know if it's like a Romeo and Juliet type of thing, but if it is, like, I'm here for it, because, like, I love that type of story where it's like forbidden. Okay, anyway, but yeah, this is definitely on my list. Don't know when I'm going to read it, but it's definitely one I would like to read. The next one on my list is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and this is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, but kind of like not Alice. It's about the Queen of Hearts. So I'm all about retellings. Like, that's one of my resolutions for next year, which I will have a video on my reading resolutions coming up. But this one is definitely, like, retellings is like high on the list. I would like to read some more like retellings of stories. But all I know about this one is that it's based on the Queen of Hearts, and it's kind of like her backstory of like how she became. But it sounds good. I've heard people say it's really good, so it's definitely one that I would like to read. I'm a big Disney fan, so it has to be here on the list. Okay, so the next book is like new to me. It's been out for years, but I've been getting into like more romance lately. Like, who is she? Who is she getting into romance? You know, it's crazy up in here. But I wanted to read this because it just became a Netflix series, and if you're in the bookish world, you know what I'm talking about. It's none other than Bridgerton, The Duke and I, by Julia Quinn. Now, I did a boo-boo. I did like a reader's faux pas, if you will. I started Bridgerton without reading the book. I know. Who is she? Why? But I had to, because everyone was talking about how good Bridgerton was, and everyone says the book is really good. So I'm like, I'm just gonna start it. I started it last night. I got like 4 episodes in. I'm on to the next episode where I'm assuming Can I please have him under my tree next year? Thanks, Santa. Thanks. I love this, okay? It is a enemies to lovers story. He's amazing. That's all you need to know. Like, if you're just gonna go watch the show, go watch the show. Because if you don't have the book yet, just go watch the show. Because it's so good. I'm speechless, that's all I can say. It's so good. Just go. I cannot wait to read this. Like, and it's a series. So, like, and they've already been renewed for season 2. So we're going to see more Simon. Okay. I gotta stop fangirling because he is amazing. Daphne's cool too, but Simon's where it's at. So just know. Just know. Okay, the next 2 on my list are by the same author. And that is Taylor Jenkins Reid, and apparently she reads or writes, she probably reads, I'm just saying, but she writes really good books because everyone always likes them. The first one is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I've talked about this before. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. But it's about Evelyn Hugo and her 7 husbands. What else do you want from me? It tells you right there in the title what it's about. So I think, I don't know, maybe it's something completely different, who knows. But this one, definitely, I want to read it. I need to read it because everyone's like, it's the best book I've ever read. So I need to know why. And then the second book is Daisy Jones and the Six by the same author. And I've heard if you're going to read this, you should like audiobook it because it's really good in the audiobook form. So it's probably what I'll do. I will probably find it somewhere to read it. But I know it's like in an interview style. The format of the book, and it's about a like band who was really famous and it like broke up, so it's kind of like Behind the Music. Anyone remember like VH1 Behind the Music? If you do, holla at your girl, because I used to love that show. Like I love to learn about stuff, but it's what it reminds me of. So I'm excited as well to read this one. It's probably gonna be a year of like Taylor Jenkins Reid. If she brings out any more stuff, if I enjoyed it, I'll read it. Okay, the next book is confusing to me because on Amazon and everywhere else it's like The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. On my book it says 7.5, so I don't know if she died 7.5. Can you die a half time? I don't know, but all I do know is that Evelyn Hardcastle is going to die so many times in this book. I know it's about a guy and he meets her and she dies, and then it's kind of like a Groundhog thing where he wakes up in like different bodies every day, and he has to figure out like who killed her. I don't know if he can stop the murder. Can he stop the murder? Yeah, it says break the cycle. No, identify the killer and break the cycle. So I don't know if that means he identifies it. You hear my cat? Every time. Every time. We're going to have to ignore the cat because he's just going to meow the whole time because that's just how he is. But he wakes up in a different body every day and he has to figure out who killed her. So, very excited. This could be a movie and I'd watch it. I'm down for that. Definitely on my top of my list. I really want to read this one because everyone says it's really good. The next one on my list I do not own, but it is another romance, enemies to lover story, and that is The Hating Game. And I don't know who wrote it. I will put it here on the screen and I will put it down below. But I have heard that it's really, like, it's one of everyone's favorite romance stories, so I need to get on the hype train. I need to figure out why everyone loves it so much. But if it's enemies to lovers, I'm down. I don't know what it is about that trope. Give me the hate, then give me the love, you know? First you're sour, then you're sweet. Sour Patch, you know? It's good. It's a good time. Just give me all that stuff. But yeah, that one is definitely on my list as well. The next one on my list is one of the most hyped books of this year, and I got it back in November, October, I don't know, but I didn't read it because that's just how I do. I buy new releases, but I don't read them until they're like a year old. Why? I don't know. But that book would be The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, and I mean, if you know, you know. This book has been everywhere on Bookstagram, on BookTube, Book Twitter. It's everywhere. It's about a girl named Addie LaRue who makes a deal to live forever in exchange for not having to marry a man that she just despises. And in return for getting to live forever, she is forgotten, like, as soon as she leaves the room. Someone meets her, and then as soon as she's, like, at eyesight, they forget her. So it's, like, a very lonely life, I assume. Until, like, present day, like, I think the present day is, like, 2014 in this book. But she goes to a bookstore, and one of the guys knows her name. She sees a guy, and he remembers her. So why does he remember her? We don't know. We don't know. We didn't read it yet. But it sounds really good. So, I'm just saying, I'm excited to read this one as well. I should be excited to read all of these, which I am, but there's more that I'm more excited about than others, as you can see. The next book is, I think it's also like a new release that came out this past year, you know, the year that was like 12 years long, that year, yeah. That would be Agnes at the End of the World by Kelly McWilliams. This is like a cult story, and I don't know why, but give me that content about cults. I don't know why, but that's me. I'm weird, but this, I know her sibling is sick and she has to go like get insulin for them, and like the cult don't believe in like medicine or anything like that, and I think she meets this guy and he kind of like helps her get the medicine. All I know is about a cult and medicine. I haven't read the inside of this in a while, but I knew I really wanted to read it, which is why I got it. But I did not read it yet, so now we're gonna read it, and it's gonna be a good time. That's what we have on this channel, a good time. The next book is like a good, like, I don't even know how it came out in 2010s, I think, maybe. I don't know. That would be The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and I've heard it's like a lot of people's favorite book. All I know is that it's based in, I think, World War II, or in like the Holocaust, I want to say, and it's like a sad book. It's narrated like by death, and it's a movie, which I own the movie, but we're not going to do the faux pas where I watch the movie before I read the book. We're going to read the book first and then watch the movie, because TV shows are okay. It's movies I can't do. I got to read it first. So, but I hear it's sad, so I like to cry, so it's fine. I'm a crier. I'm an emotional person, if you couldn't tell. But I've heard nothing but great things about this, and that's really all I can say, because I don't know too much of like what happens in the book, but just that it's a lot of people's favorites. The next one is another book that I do not own, and that is The Midnight Library, and I think this one is kind of like parallel universes. I think, I'm probably completely wrong, but I think this girl can like go back and like, cause you know like how you have choices in your life and you always wonder, well, what have happened if I have chose this instead of this? Like, she can go see what would happen if she would have chose the other in her life. Something like that, I think. It's probably completely wrong, but doesn't, like, the story sounds pretty cool. If that's not what it is, it should be. It should be. But that's all I really know about that one. But I've heard a lot of people say it was really good this year, so it's definitely one that I would like to read also. The second to last one is Wolf by Ryan Graudin. I know that this is based in like a kind of like different world if Hitler had won the war, and there's like a race on a bike. I think it's like a bike, and this girl's like I think like a shapeshifter or something, but like she wants to win this race so she can kill Hitler, because like the winner gets to meet Hitler. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, win the race, kill Hitler, or die trying. So, and I think there's a sequel to this, but I watched Haley in Bookland on BookTube, and she said this was like one of her top reads of this year, so I took her advice and I read Lovely War, and it was like my top read of this year, so I'm going to take her advice again, and we're going to be reading Wolf by Wolf. And the last book on my list is another Haley in Bookland recommendation, one of her top favorite books of all time, and that is The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. I hear this is like everyone's like top of the top book. It is a historical fiction based World War II, I think. I don't know if it's 1 or 2. I'm not too sure. It's one of the wars, but it's about these two sisters and kind of how they lived their life and how the war affected it, I think. And all I know is people have cried, people have shed tears over this book, so I'm here for the tears. I don't know why I'm here for the tears, but I'm here for the tears. It's just, I'm a crazy person. It's fine. But this is definitely, it's a bigger book, but definitely one that I really hope that I can read. We're not going to hope, we're just going to do it. We're going to knock them out and do it next year. But that is all of the books that I really hope to read next year. That's not all of them by any means necessary, the ones that I'm gonna read, or if I'll even get to them, but they're the like creme de la creme, top of the top, the ones that I really just hope to get off my TBR. But let me know down below, what are the books that you're excited to read next year? Are you doing more like new releases? Are you going to go back in people's backlog and like read some of their older stuff? Let me know what the top book is that you want to read so I can add it to my TBR, because that's how I do things here. Make my TBR as long as possible. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you like what you see and you'd like to see more of my face, you can always hit that subscribe button, as well as all my social medias down below. Like I said, the books are down below as well if you want to go check them out for yourself. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys. Who am I kidding? I'm probably not going to get to any of these. I'll be sitting here a year from now, for 2022, with these same books on my TBR. Probably so. Probably so. But it's okay. You know, it's okay. We'll get there when we get there. It's a problem. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So she says to make herself feel better.